Well, good evening, guys. We're here, maybe starting just a few minutes late, but that's kind of part of the course here. But I want to welcome everybody here. Todd Showpigs fall farm sale here, and I've had a couple comments there leading up. Might be one of those leading into maybe the sale of the year, but obviously honored here to be here with Gary Todd and his family. I've been able to come by here 3 times, I guess, this season, and every single time that I've driven up, you can tell he was in preparation for this very night, or I guess tomorrow afternoon there. Thought about it for a long time. Obviously a family and an operation that needed no introduction to the Winner's Circle, selling champions, online live sales, and then following through with their customers. But this time with the focus there, every time I talked to Gary was, I'm so excited about the consigners that are coming, what they're bringing, and obviously the crowd gathered around is very excited there as well. We're going to kick through things. We're going to start off with Day. We'll try to go through it in somewhat of a timely fashion. Obviously, this is being videoed here there on KV. Got my good buddy and an awesome young man in the Showpig deal that again around these parts needs no introduction. But Garrett Weldon's going to introduce the lots. I'll give you a few thoughts as we kind of go down. To make one note there, we are going to bring them in. We'll announce their tag numbers tomorrow. They do not run in the tag number that they're issued there. They'll run them in a sell order, so make sure that you get that sell order. All lots are listed on SC Online Sales as well as Showpig.com. We'll rearrange those and have them listed in sell order, but again, they won't go just numerically. We'll have a true sell order established after the preview here. So again, welcome everybody here. Awesome set of pigs to work through, and here's Garrett to introduce our first lots.
Yeah, and just like Kelton said, obviously a very, very hyped up event, and for good reason. There's really, really good pigs here, great crowd, obviously an awesome guy there in Gary that's running this deal. We start in a great fashion. Justin Day, one of the best stockmen not only in the state, but also just here in the country. These are 2 litter-mate, 20-litter pigs. The off-belted male pig there, he'd be tag 81. The 20 litters here, both of them, they're sired by then and now out of a tricked out no moss sow. Their mommy was the reserve grand gilt there at Nail there in Louisville in 2022. And yeah, so we start here, tag 81, the off-belted male pig, and then lot 82 would be the belted gilt, then and now tricked out.
So again, I kicked off here with Day, and I think an awesome pair. I'm not going to harp too much on what their grandmas did or where they got it connected or pedigrees there, but as obviously that's important to the buyers, it's important to the breeders and the programs there, but they're not shown with a pedigree in their ear. They're not shown there. We're going to give some thoughts as we go, but the one thing that you would make note of, regardless where you're at in the country, the impact that the Day family has had on the south side of things and producing champions for other breeders there as well. And I know for sure right here at Todd's has been very impactful. A pair of pigs here out of then and now, as Garrett said there, awesome about their rib cage. I absolutely love their muscle texture. They're stout constructed and have that typical look in terms of feedability that Days always have. Loose hinged, square built, and look like they're built for the long haul. That bear to me, or that boar pig, hits me extremely good. They're not only for those attributes that we just talked about, but look and presence, and again, an awesome way to kick off. Again, this is Day Showpigs. Tag 81 is the male, tag 82 is the female.
Yeah, so once again, staying with the Day family consignments here next in the ring as we kind of move these dark cross-classifying pigs out. We've got tag 83. He'll be the all-white male. You'll see here in just a second. He's a 28 litter, sired by Not Afraid out of a Sayet Kingpin sow. We all know how powerful that kingpin there on the bottom side of that pedigree can be. And then the all-black pig, he's sired by Mainline, obviously too. Not to sound cliche, but if you've been around here or anywhere in the United States and haven't liked the Mainline pigs you've seen or haven't seen any that you think are good, you're living under a rock. Because honestly, that boar is doing a great job. Well, the black pig's mommy would be a Jericho tricked out. The sow there originated from Danner. She's a full sib to the Grand Barrett Houston in 2024. Great pair of pigs.
Yeah, again, and I hope that we don't sound repetitive as we go, but we get days in here, and the first thing that always comes to mind, again, is stout constructed loose hind ones that can feed, and these two barrows represent that, or male pigs here. Obviously, a white one that classifies in the Yorkshire deal in our part of the world, stout and boxy, and for one of those that's got some bend to his rear leg, his pin set is so high and wide and up on his body where it's supposed to be, modern in his frame style, but not quick on the front end of his body. Stu, I ain't going to tell you where you need to show him, but that black one can go for a little ways. That one is stout, and he's wide-chested, and he's big-ribbed, a moderate frame one that's still got a good look there. Again, awesome pedigrees. Get into the cute things, too. They've got shaggy legs and looks like those modern-day kind of a show pigs there. But awesome pair here. Again, the white one is going to be tag number 81, I believe. 93, okay, way off. 83, went that far off. 83, and the black one is tag 80.
Once again, thank you, Justin Day. Obviously a great firm, a guy that really, really does well. Same can be said for the next consigner in the ring here, Colson Showpigs, Evan Green. He brought us one black pig, but honestly, he's really, really nice. He's sired by All Access. His mom's a heavy hitter. Mommy was a $10,000 baby from Farnham that did her fair share of winning there in Georgia. Only comments I've left was that he liked this pig a lot. And we do too. Tag 77, 13-2, all black from Colson.
Again, a firm here that needs no introduction, regardless where you're at in the country there, but more so than anything, a family and an operation, generational, and then if you ever got to know these guys, I get to work very closely with Evan on the boar side of things there, and consider him a very good friend there personally, and the one thing that I can tell you about him, I said this 2 or 3 years ago in some previews that I was glad I was kind of down there in Texas because I wouldn't want to have to try to beat him on a weekly basis, or particularly there in the end, because the guy and the family there behind them expects excellence. They demand that out of themselves. They're never going to bring a ton of them to pig sales here. He already told me how much he liked this one. Extra stout, extra big-legged. He's just column of bone from behind is what's so impressive to me. Not only is he big there, those dew claws are spread right. His footwork is ginormous, and then bend and flex is awesome. And what's intriguing to me is this black barrel right here, black male pig, is not a quick pattern, short constructed one that's not going to grow and go. That one looks like to me that you can do a lot of things with him again. He's solid black. I'll give you this spill one more time. It's just my thoughts, but I'm going to stand by it. Solid black only matters today and at sale time at the shows. Plenty of them win as long as you take care of them. And the winners, the last time I checked, they're all taken care of. This pig can win for sure. All Access, is that right, Evan? All Access. Obviously, that boar's done a phenomenal job in one of those pedigrees that you probably want to kind of grab into to feed there. Tag 77, Colson Showpigs.
In the ring next, we've got Heron Farms, Mr. Tim Heron, and obviously a guy much like Kelton could probably hint on because he knows probably more so than I do. A guy that's been around and been winning for lots of years. That's obviously not by accident at all. This is tag 78. His pedigree would be Alibi Trumpet Hero. This pig's mom was a mate to the 4th overall gilt there at Arizona National, and then back on a litter mate there to the Grand Barrett OIE. The other pig here in the ring would be tag 79. That would be the all-white one. He's a white flag. Picture this. Once again, a great pig out of a great litter. Boar or barrel, Mr. Heron says you decide. This is an awesome group of pigs from a very, very talented individual.
You know, growing up in the show pig deal, there, a kid in Texas that was tucked away in West Texas that had a passion for it, loved the show pig deal, loved judging. Mr. Heron was the county over, the town over. Most people probably know this if you're my age or around or maybe right ahead, but actually he came to me there as a freshman in high school and said, hey, I think we could do some really good things if you come over to Brownfield. That was, again, 35 miles, 40 miles away from my hometown. I transferred schools. It was under Tim's guidance there. There's nobody in this world other than my parents that's had more influence on me that paved the way for my career, my future, and Mr. Heron has. And like Garrett said, if you've ever talked to him, you know why. For generations and decades, the Heron name and Tim Heron and his family have been successful. There's nobody more passionate. I can tell you right now, this chromed up up one there. I listened to the pedigree, obviously backed by winning genetics, but I got a picture of him completely unsolicited. I could read through the text how excited Mr. Heron was of this particular pig probably 2 weeks ago there. What's really neat is we can all see how high caliber he is, how attractive, how much he looks like a show bearer. His proportions are incredible. His edges are awesome, sound, flexible, all those cute things that we talked about, not even cute, the things that are fundamental and matter. And then he's got that perfect color pattern, or that unique color pattern, grabs him notice and allows him to get that much further. White one there, he's been awfully good there in that white cross steer here lately. His neck attachment is so high, his pin set is set right. Again, edges are right, forerib shape is right. I read that one as a very green, immature kind of a white male pig there, and one that's got a very good future. Again, he is tagged 79, and I believe that chromed up one is tagged 78.
In the ring next, we've got CNC Showpigs, and a firm that honestly, for me, very near to my heart. Austin Craig and Copeland both. I love them and their family, and honestly, I've got the ability to get to go by there quite often, help their kids with their show pigs, and then with and through that, really get to see what they do there just in terms of a show pig firm. And these three represent an immense amount of quality. Starting with the all-white one, she's tagged 90. She'd be sired by Mainline back on a tricked out sow. Her mom is the same mom, the Grand Gilt at the FFA show there at the Iowa State Fair last year, as well as a cell-making Yorkshire Barra for Riggin and his crew in San Antonio. The full-belted male, he's a far and wide, money's on, tag 91. Same sow family as base is loaded, and the 7th overall dark there at OYE this year. Tag 92, Everyday Hustle hero, an awesome pig. As Slim says, one of the deepest litters they've had yet in their tenure of raising pigs, and one out of the most potential in terms of winning sow families you could ever ask there from CNC. Once again, tag 90, 91, and 92.
One of the things I've enjoyed the very most the last almost 2 years here that we've worked that I've worked for SC is getting to go more places that I might not have had. I don't want to say courage, but maybe the primary reason to go, because we get on our same beaten path and the same pattern. But I can tell you, the first time I stepped there at CNC, obviously I knew their record, I knew what they had been producing, but I knew that was going to be a stop that I was going to go to. And every time I was up in this part of the world, and definitely look forward to going. I can tell you this off-belted male pig, the first time I saw him, I don't know how many weeks ago that was, Slim took me in the nursery, and I don't know if everybody gets that privilege, but it was fun because he was right there and I knew exactly what I was looking at. An awesome pig out of Everyday Hustle that obviously is at 66 Ventures, has done a phenomenal job there. I'd say study this guy. Again, long haul, Barra, Boar, wherever he goes. That pig was incredible in the nursery. I saw him right there maybe a few days after he got set back, probably 2-3 days out of the nursery would be their weakest time, or the time they've melted the most, and that pig was still incredible. The belted one, I believe, is a far and wide. The litter mate to Everyday Hustle, that one's immaturity ahead of his blade, height the shoulder, and then combining with how stout CNC's pigs always are, I think that one again's got a great future. If I'm saying things right, the mainline, the white gilt is out of mainline, and we've already heard Garrett's thoughts there. We're going to see several mainlines there through the evening and that are going to sell tomorrow, but I don't know that there's been any boar that's got any more attention, starting with the Hildy pig that's sold there at the opener, as that boar has, and we've got a chance to have a solid white female out of him. In fact, I think Slim said there was only 2 pigs in this litter maybe. I bought the calico litter mate and I absolutely loved him when we transferred him yesterday to the owner. Hopefully he wins, and whoever has this owner, the owner of this white gilt, has a mate to a champion Barra, but that's a pretty intriguing female there for sure. So again, this is CNC's entries. The off belt would be tag 92. The full belt is 91, and the gilt is tag 90.
In the ring next here, we've got Murrow Farms alongside Bryson Johnson, where I think, to my knowledge, we're going to run all four of these in at the same time. And so we'll just kind of go through how they're listed here on the computer. Ross, also known as Puddin', he's a great guy, lives right around the road from Wilbur. And I've got the opportunity to really hang out with Ross and see his program over the past 3 or 4 summers. And it's really, really good. In no particular order is how they come out or how they'll sell, just talking them here on the laptop. Tag 45, he's a belted male, sired by Lead Off. His mommy is an OCD Karma. That sow would have been the 6th overall Division I there at OYE. The grandma would be the mother of Bell's Reserve Light Cross, Barrow, there at OYE in 2023. Tag 46, the kind of thinner belted male pig there. He's a lead-off OCD Karma as well. Same sow, same deal there. Both 3 litters, tags 45 and 46. The blue ones, tag 48, sired by Repeat out of a Barbosa kill shot. Best man mommy there. The grandma there on the bottom side would be Wedding Night's litter mate sister. And then tag 47 would be the belted gilt. She's sired by Awakening, an awesome boar there owned by Wilbur, Mav, and John Mark Holt. And obviously he's done a really, really good job so far. The sow of that belted gilt would be a Big Daddy, best kept secret. Like I said, Puddin's synonymous for raising pigs that do really, really well. I think these 4 represent that very good.
Yeah, you know, whenever 4 in here, you kind of get your bearings and study, but I think it's neat that we've got a pair of littermate belted male pigs out of a boar that's obviously proven to produce champions, but they're extreme in the area that I probably worry about that boar as much as anything. You catch this pair of males coming at you, their chest floor and sternum is cracked open, they're flat and square at the base of their chest, same as the top part of their blade there. Those pigs read true, they read genuine and honest in terms of power and width, and still extra stout. I like their pasture and set. Their consistency of rib design is awesome on that pair of 3-litter males there. Pair of gilts there, they're maybe made just a shot different. They're probably, their endpoints are just a bit different, or purpose there from a gilt perspective. A little softer bodied and longer muscle, but still have awesome look. Transitions are extremely good. And then obviously, as Garrett said, the pedigree on the belted gilt there out of Awakening, able to see several of those litters this fall. And that boar's definitely going to be one that heard of. The wide awake boars there at Squires are going to continually get better and better. And this gilt to me looks like she's positioned to definitely be an awesome breeding gilt in the show ring, as well as a sow perspective there as well. So again, these are Murrow Farms here. I'll try to get them through. The thin belted one is tag 45. On the far side, the litter mate to them. Far side there, Barra, is, what's this one's tag? 46. Belted gilt is tag, belted gilt, tag 47. I'm assuming that blue one is 48.
Next in the ring here is 4W. A lot of us around here know them as the Watts family, and obviously a family that's done an incredible job. Obviously, they're their kids, had an incredible show career, and then just in terms of what they've raised, in terms of show pigs, it's been very, very impressive. Just the run they've been on, the type of wins that they've been able to collect, it is very, very good. I believe they're the pig that Kenzie's on. That'd be tag 44. He's a buckle up, say win, end game. This kind of calico bear here in the back. He's tag 43. He'd be a mate. The one Kenzie's on there is tag 44. The other pig there that Gabby's got, That's tag 42. He's sired by Deep State out of a buckle-up hero sow. And once again, you know, obviously not to get on the mic here in terms of a pedigree description and just sound corny or cliche, but man, these guys raise a pig or 5 every single year that win at a very high level. You'll be walking through the barn there at OYE, see one out and say, hey, who raised that pig? And they tell you Watts, and you just kind of smile, because honestly, at this point, you expected out of them a great trio.
Yeah, for sure, and obviously Garrett and the crew around here probably has more relationship and maybe more familiarity with 4W and Watts there. What I can tell you is I try not to be a picture judger, try not to get on Facebook and get too excited. Obviously, there's phenomenal guys and gals behind cameras here, but when I saw the pictures of these pigs, it made me that much more excited to get here and actually visit with them and see this group right here. A pair of males that, again, you capture what they're made of, and you can almost see a banner behind those pictures. They're just a semblance of quality and combining look, balance with that big of an arm. And I know we talk about bone and usually go to their rear leg. These guys' arm and their thickness of front leg is absolutely incredible. You know, the belted one's maybe just a shot shorter back to more conventional or moderate there. Looks like to me he's one of those that you can kind of do what you want to feed bucket wise. The chromed up one's got a little more size than I thought he was going to from the picture. I think that's to his advantage. Again, I'm able to travel quite a few miles there. I'm going to tell you folks, if we're trying to get some this size, they're absolutely non-existent now. They've been bought or they weren't produced, one of the two. A really good pair of males there. The calico here, neat colored, black-headed one. His edges are so sharp. He's big in his upper hip and pin set. And for me, just maturity pattern reads is one that can make a big one and still keep things together. Again, I don't have near as much experience there with Watts other than recognizing their name and knowing that they're associated with quality. Want to make sure you make note there. Gabby's on 42, Kenzie's on 43, which is the chromed up male. The calico is tag 44, again 4W on the listing.
And next is IDK Farms, and I believe we've got 2 more coming, but this would be tag 51. He's sired by Reckless out of a say-win Next Intention sow. Yeah, I guess we're going to bring all 3 of them in. Speaking about that 51, though, got a few notes here on IDKs. The mom there, that tag 51 pig, would be a littermate sister to Say What, that stood there at Evans or 66 Ventures. Also a maternal sib to Stinger at Crossroads. Raised a $10,000 pig there at PT last time. A class winner at Ohio here just last week. The next pair of them, tag 49, which would be kind of the thin off-belted pig, and then the wider belted tag 50. They're both mates. They're Say Wins back on a 2 of the Extreme sow. Tag 49, I've got a note here that his mother was a $17,000 purchase from Laird as a weaning. First litter had a really good run there, sired a high dollar selling pig at King's as well as the Syndicate. And even though got the same pedigree, I actually think tag 50 is out of a different sow there. Or no, excuse me, same sow, just more notes. The mom there looks to be a generator there in IDK's eyes. The pedigree is notorious for winning. Got a bunch of footnotes here that are different, but once again, tag 49, tag 50 are the mates, tag 51 as well.
Probably just opposite of the last firm that we go. I don't know how many, and I don't want to maybe take away from the reach that IDK has, because they've obviously made a very big impact, several bores and bore studs. But I'm going to say that that around ringside and in the ring here, I've got as much experience or know the guys as much as anybody there. And the one thing I can tell you, at a Texas Major, you absolutely can never count these guys out, and you've got to always take note of what they're bringing there. We've got Nick here in the crowd and brought the pigs. Jess there at home, and just the whole crew. They do a phenomenal job. Again, if I'm reading things right or heard things right, the pair of belted males are litter mates there. Is that right? gilt in a barrel. I'm sorry, the belts are litter mates there. Obviously, we start with the small male pig here, and regardless what he has, that litter mate, that bear looks like he's got an awesome future there. He's not going to be a cute little fluffy cell pig. That one looks like he was jerked straight out of a nursery deck and still got the pattern to win, height, the shoulder, and look. That's just synonymous again with IDK. Looks like he almost just carved his throat latch out with a knife, and still at the same time opens up square and genuine as he leaves you. I'd encourage you to get on the listings there, on the websites there, and read some of the winners and what this sow family has done for those guys there, because I think that would bring even that much more value to this belted gilt. Again, read her maturity pattern and what she could project as a big gilt, whether you've got a show gilt or a sow. Again, a phenomenal female, and a pair of them have a very high power generating pedigree. The calico has maybe got that much more power, very dimensional and awesome as he leaves you. Unique color pattern, but still looks like a feeding kind of a pig there. Consistent down at the surface there as well as he comes at you. So again, awesome crew. I know they had to come a ways there, and we're proud of what they bring there every time they come to the sale. Again, the calico would be tag 51. The little guy is 49, so that would leave tag 50 to be the female.
In the ring next, here's Winter Circle Showpigs, Levi and Brittany Montgomery, and obviously all of us that are around here that are in state know what they've done just in terms of raising pigs, their boar stud, the type of pigs their kids show. So the four they brought here, obviously, in my opinion and in my mind, they're pretty proud of. Starting with tag 56, he's the only crossbred pig of the four we're going to see. He's a just one more, which would be a pig there that Cade Miller raised there that sold at Holy Smoke. His mom's a Play Money in-game Red 7. So his mommy is actually a mate there to the pig the Voss crew had that was grand overall bear at the Tulsa State Fair last year. And just that pedigree alone, to me personally, reads with a lot of quality. That was an awesome pig. His sister was very good. She made the sale at Tulsa. They snagged her out, bred her to an awesome boar. Resulted in a very good pig there. Tag 58, he's a Revolution, Remain Silent. That's a spot boar there. That sow's done an incredible job. His daddy, Revolution, is the same mother there. They share as the champion spot gilt there at OYE. Tag 57, she's a spot gilt that honestly probably turned a lot of eyes there on Facebook. I mean, pictured like an absolute unit. She's a gambler, back on a Remain Silent sow. A bunch of notes here. So honestly, in the back, if you love one, talking to Levi or Brittany probably in person is going to be better than whatever I could sit here and ramble on a microphone. She speaks for herself. And then we finish there on tag 55, another spot, male pig there, a gambler, Speak Up, once again with a great pedigree. Awesome group of pigs from a great firm. Levi's very good in what he does and what he can produce. We'll let Kelton tell you more about him.
Yeah, again, my first experience with the Montgomery family was actually judging a couple shows up here, and I don't know how many classes in a row those boys were first or second, or I would hear their name being announced and going regardless of breeds there, and so followed just a bit more. And whenever they drop in a spot here, as dominant as they've been, you need to take note. Just like as Garrett said, that's that female there that's in the center of the ring, spot there from Winter Circle. That took a phenomenal picture, but comes in here and has that unique look. Again, just attractiveness and all the bells and whistles there from a profile perspective, but still opens up with the right kind of pry and spread down low, and I think the right maturity pattern for the spot side of things. The male pig there that's in the center now, obviously more advanced from just a power perspective. Width and body is incredible, but still his elbows tucked in him good. He's square when he leaves you, and his joint quality looks right. This little guy intrigues me quite a bit there, and he was the first one I got up whenever we were trying to study tags and get the sale order and lot listing put together. But his proportions and combined with extra look, those it looks like to me that could definitely be very good. Regardless what breed we want to sit him in, you can kind of use what you think he fits and where you're going there show-wise there. But that's a competitive barrel. Again, intrigued me quite a bit. The belted one, That one's picture. I'm not going to say it was just propped up and set up with a green carpet and the perfect lighting. It was kind of 3/4 and down, but I put it on my watch list on SC immediately. Big square pin, dimensional, good arm, perfect in terms of hip set and allowing him to function. Again, from a firm, Winter Circle, Montgomery family that are synonymous with winners regardless of breed. Just happens to bring 3 spotted ones from a very dominant kind of operation there, I guess, program on that breed, and a very intriguing male pig there that looks like he's got a lot of utility. Again, Winter Circle, I don't have all the tags there. Belted one would be 56. The gilt, it's tag 57. 58's the big male, and the little guy is 59.
Once again, as we kind of go through here, obviously want to break it up and kind of make it enjoyable to listen to. That was a great group of pigs. Kelton, knocked it right on the hammer there in terms of how he saw those pigs. That was a great group of pigs, just in terms of feedability and some differences in terms of breed. Next in the ring, though, we've got True Genetics, all the way from Indiana, and a firm, to me personally, that I think a lot of. Isaiah, his family, KJ and Joanne and Riker, obviously all intermingled into that. And so for them, especially Isaiah, to make the trip there from Indiana, obviously didn't just come here with some slouches. We've got tag 65. He'd be the thinner belted pig there. He's a stone cold heavy hitter. His mommy was the pick of all the females there from Alton Water and their spring crop at 24. Then stone cold, for those that don't know, was a $140,000 boar there. They sold the Lairds last year at PT. 67, he's the chromed up male. He's a hardball heavy hitter, tricked out. Mommy was a class winner there at the Indiana State Fair. Her littermate was actually the grand overall market gilt there at the Ohio State Fair in 2024. Great pair from True.
The one thing that whenever True comes in the ring, that the female side of things is going to be so powerful. It's obviously no question industry-wide what those guys have invested, not only from just a monetary standpoint, but the focus that they put on high-caliber females, regardless what operation they came to them, what program they go. If they need to be owned, Brian and Ryan put them together and got all those pigs there to Indiana, or those sows to Indiana, and that's why they've dominated so much the last couple seasons there. Again, these pictures were awesome. I can tell you guys online, these are definitely don't disappoint in person, and maybe actually supersede what I thought the picture even showed. Their stoutness of skull, the width between their eyes, the broadness of back, and combined with just a dense skeleton. Again, not telling you where they could go. They've got some size and some weight. I don't think those Denver prospects are out there anymore. The ones that are this caliber, regardless whether they're out there or supply was in demand, or supply wasn't a shortage. These are going to be in the top end of those. But you Texas guys looking online, or if you're in ringside, these can definitely get to February very, very easy. True Genetics, awesome pair to kick off with. Tag 67 is the chromed up one. The belted one, Hampshire classifying, whenever we end up calling that one, would be tag 65.
Once again, here sticking with True, and another pair of them that honestly we think a lot of. Tag 66, he'd be the 23-liter male, and his pedigree, for those of us that live in Oklahoma, specifically kind of east I-35 and in this area, Wild Time, Hero, Checkmate. Obviously resonates with a lot of quality to us there. 2 of the most dominant sires any part in the country. They're all in one pedigree. That sow raised the 4th overall barrel there at the California Youth Expo last year. It's also the mother of 6-shooter there at Schaefer's. And then tag 68, he's an awesome pig. Rampage, Money's On, Hidden Treasure. Mommy there, they say, was the pick out of Goss's barn in 2024 on the female side. Rampage is the very good Bobo boar that they bought there at King of the Hill, or actually they loved, and Laird owns him. But once again, a great pair of pigs. As we've worked through here, Kelton can describe them to you better than anybody in the United States. But man, this pair and what they represent, with pedigree included, I think resonates with a lot of quality.
Yeah, you know, you have a pair, and I think I'm guilty just as everybody ringside that tries to compare them, but obviously these pigs aren't going to show against each other. If they do, there's a lot of feeding there between them. So let's just visit about them individually. The Wild Time sired one there, if y'all followed obviously his success, particularly right here at this location, as well countrywide there. We're going to talk a lot about Wild Time tonight, but that looked like the prospects that kind of win. They're green, immature, awesome looking, and that pig looks like he's got a great future. I didn't even listen to the pedigree of 68. The one thing that I've been able to do whenever we go to sales, or I guess I've had the honor to talk to several different sales and give opinions. I think the only reason they ask is I have a hard time saying no, and they know I'm going to be there. But I just tell you honestly, and when the kids, I have Camlin with me this trip, which is awesome that she's been able to find time and go on the road there and whatnot. But the kids always tell me when you go to those sales, Daddy, don't tell them which one you like. And I can tell you, I didn't even listen to the pedigree. When this white-footed tag 68 came off of the wash rack, I liked him, and I liked him a whole bunch. And Camlin said, "Hey, you like that white-footed one?" And I definitely agreed there. So I go against their wishes there. That's what they asked me to do. I love that pig there from True. Again, that's tag 68. The more traditional belted one is tag 66.
In the ring next, we've got Savage Genetics, and obviously all of us, regardless of where you live, whether that's California, Utah, Washington State, New York, Oklahoma, don't matter. We all probably know Todd and Blake Kennedy. We're going to run all four of theirs in here. Just the hams first, excuse me. These are a pair of mates sired by Smoke Signal back on a sticks, hands down Sal there. And man, this is an awesome pair of pigs. Full mating to the 2025 Grand Champion Purebred Gilt there at Angelo. And I've got great footnotes and really, really good comments from them. For those that didn't know, Savage bred the champion, reserve and bronze ham Saratoga, as well as the champion, reserve champion purebred Hampshire barrows there at OYE. And we all know around here in this part of the country what that show at OYE pays. Even if you're the 8th place pig, you're still even with money in your pocket. And like we opened up with, an incredible firm. They know what it takes. They've won with this breed specifically, probably more than anybody I could ever imagine. Once again, Savage, tag 86 and 85.
You know, I guess a couple weeks ago, a visit about them. They had a Hampshire in the ring, or I guess it was maybe just 10 days ago. It seems like a long time ago, but I had a Hampshire gilt there that sold at the Southwest Elite, and I told them I don't follow this breed, to be real honest with you. Again, that's the only thing I can do. Usually when the Hampshires come in is kind of when I check out and go get lunch and maybe attend to things at home. Not any disgrace to that breed. It's just something that I haven't had the passion with. But what I'm telling you is, if you're going to show a Hampshire, if that's something that you want to do, and if I was going to do that, I would buy it from Savage Genetics, because Garrett read off some of those, but that was a short list of what they've done. Absolutely. We've used the word dominant too much tonight because that gets thrown away. There is no question that this fern has absolutely purely dominated the Hampshire ring there. This gilt looks like she could continue that legacy for sure that Blake and Todd and Donnie has had. The male pig is tag 85, and the gilt is tag 86.
Sticking here with Savage Genetics, we're going to bring in their pair of red ones next. Tag 87, he'd be the 18-liter, or she would be the 18-liter Duroc gilt. Tag 87, sired by Limited Access. Out of a Bury My Bones sow that they got from D-Man. I got to spend a little bit of time both with Todd Blake and D-Man here on Tuesday at the Oklahoma Pork Council meeting, and obviously three minds really, that are incredibly sharp. So whenever you kind of intermingle that together and have the same focus and drive to raise winning Durocs, you get pretty good an outcome there. The other pig, he's tag 84, 19-2, sired by Old Fashioned back on a Yin Yang sow. You know, probably a lot of us here locally probably don't know who Yin Yang is. I got a footnote here from them that he actually sold from Bedecker and Yanis there at PT. I remember that pig just a few years ago and how good he was. Once again, no different than the Hampshires, an awesome representation of quality, feedability, perfect maturity from Savage.
You know, Weldon kicked off the Savage deal, said nobody doesn't know Blake Kennedy and Todd Kennedy. I'd agree with that, and yet at the same time, we've got Donnie here today, and the reason they don't know everybody knows him is because he's usually the one at home doing all the work, and so we got him here, and I can tell you, this red deal right here is a passion of Donnie's. He's one of the absolute sharpest livestock breeders and livestock evaluators. Doesn't talk a whole bunch, maybe he isn't always in the limelight of things, but Donnie's working to get this red deal really, really good. And I can tell you, I was at the Backyard Bash last year, and they had a set of gilts that just looked different. And I can tell you they're on their way to that. This gilt to me in the ring today, again, tag 87, looks like the way that red ones need to be built for the long haul. Maturity pattern has some length of body, but matches that with a long, flexible, and useful hip. Her joint quality is awesome. Her feet are right. Her front end assembly is really good. And then study her down low, and she's got plenty of pry there. Looks like, again, long haul wise. I walked up to the pen there, and that male pig was sitting at the water, and I said, hey, he's pretty good. And again, true Donnie fashion, said, yeah, he ain't a bad hog. And I equated that to he's really good. I can tell you what, this red pig better be very, very high on your list. Looks like he's positioned to be the right size, and without blowing any smoke for a breed pig, that's about as good as you're going to find of that particular deal there. Again, awesome pair there from Donnie. Savage Genetics. The gilt is tag 87, and the male pig is tag 84.
Next in the ring here, we've got Hofschulte Genetics. And once again, obviously, Kelton brings a great perspective, just being a Texan and as much traveling as he does, and probably, from my perspective, just get more of a local type of vibe. With that being said, Hofschulte, you know, growing up, 12 years old, whenever I had a good grasp of just the show pig deal, those were the guys that you always think of. If you were to write down the top Oklahoma breeders on a piece of paper right now, they're at the top of my list. They've been doing it for a very, very long time at a very, very high level. I mean, awesome people, great family, and very synonymous with very, very high quality stock there. Tag 97, 22-5, that'd be the belted male. He's a secured Say It. The sire there secured would be a Surrounded out of Then and Now's mother on the bottom side. His grandmother would be the mommy of the Reserve Grand Barrel there at the American Royal just 2 years ago. And then the light cross, kind of speckled up blue one. He's tagged 98. 23-3, sired by Navy Blue, back on a Say It sow. And obviously got really good footnotes here just in terms of what that pedigree has done in terms of winning. You see it in Goss's program, Wilbur's as well. That program that goes back to that Say It, Never Before Short Bus, all on that lineage in terms of winning light cross show pigs is as good as anybody's in the country, and I'd argue it for a very, very long time. This is a great pair of pigs from an incredible firm, Hofschulte Genetics.
Yeah, as Garrett said, decades and decades of winning there from the Hofschulte firm, and one that's the first thing that comes to mind, not only in Oklahoma and the northeast part of the state, but then synonymous with champion barrows, gilts, and then pedigrees, boars there that go. In fact, there was a set of years there, and I know this is a long time ago, but when my parents raised pigs, this is where we sourced our semen. So obviously rich history there for champions. I was trying to scroll through my notes really quickly. I was able to go to Hofschulte's there about 2 weeks ago, I believe, there, and Chris and Kate met us there, and we looked through the pigs, and I'm very certain that this belted pig was the first one that jumped out and win. I don't want to lie to you. It doesn't matter what he looked like 2 weeks ago. That's an absolute hammer there in the ring that we have out of secured. The blue one, or I guess calico, I don't know where we call that color there, but light crossbred male. Again, I believe that's out Navy Blue. I wasn't listening good enough. Navy Blue, the first two people that called after I left Hofschulte's, they said, what have you seen? The first thing I said was, these Navy Blues are way, way good. They were stout for blue ones. They were stout for any kind of crossbred pigs there. Their length of body and proportionality was off the charts there consistently across those deals. Obviously, from a sow line and a pedigree on the bottom side there with those mate brothers or those half brothers that were dominant there as well. We use that term again, but it definitely is fitting. Again, it sounded like a bunch of smoke there. I didn't have anything prepared. I love these two pigs. I saw them 2 weeks ago. They were awesome. And Chris and Kate are here, but Nick, Nat, and the whole crew, Philip, and the whole crew's not going to bring them unless they're proud of them. And I can tell you what, I can guarantee you they're darn proud of these. This calico, or our blue one we call, is tag 98. That belted male is 97.
In next here would be the Jarrett Mays and Cade Penley consignments. Just brought two pigs, and I guess if you're here to color buy them, you're just going to be a little bit different feeling. But hey, he brought two really, really good pigs. Tag 88 there would be kind of the colored up pig. He's the Renegade. Next intention, no stranger. Renegade's a solid white boar from Danner that Halfin bought. The mom there of this pig would have raised a sale qualifying bear at Coba this year. And then the all-black one, he's a wild time. Obviously, that means probably a lot here at Gary's. And then out of an Echo sow, his mommy would have been successfully campaigned last winter. Had a great jackpot career. Penley's judging a jackpot show this evening. So he's not in attendance, but in the morning, he'd be more than happy to tell you about him some more. Great pair.
Again, there's a lot of neat things that come with different positions and different things there. The SC deal's been fun for a lot of different reasons, but one thing was that I've gotten to know Cade quite a bit, and we work really closely together. That's a young guy there that obviously is very passionate, very, I guess, respectful, and he's very cognizant of the people around him and tries to learn from them, and obviously got paired up with Jared, or has been for a while. And regardless of breed, I know they sold a really high-powered spot male pig last night at Goss's, and he told me he had a pair of crossbreds coming that he was equally as proud of. He's not even listening. He's judging a show, so that's not trying to fill his head there. But I think a lot of the guy there, and they're going to have a lot of success to come. This loud marked one, I'm not going to be cute and say use your imagination, but people have gotten way more creative on that one. That's a good pig there. And then that black one, maybe a little more moderate, maybe got a little more stretch. I love his lower body and how pliable he is down low. His arm set's really good. Not only is he flexible, he's secure-footed and still takes a lot of reach up front, and I think a very good one. Again, we've saw wild time. I'm not saying that's why everybody's in the seats there, but I'm going to say that boar's going to get followed, and his run wasn't over last year. So the loud colored one is tag 88, I believe, and then the black one is 89.
In the ring next, we've got Pell Livestock, and obviously a guy, to me, a very, very good friend, dear friend, and had very good luck with these pigs as well. This spring, we were lucky enough there to have the champion Berkshire Gilt at OYE from Pell, and man, obviously that's just one of a lot that have done very, very good for him. We'll start off there with the Berkshire male. He's tagged 99. He's an upward, top shelf, don't pass go. A pig that honestly has an incredible pedigree. His mom made the 3rd overall Berkshire Bear there at OYE this year that JD's crew had, and then his grandma would be the same grandma there, or the mother of the champion Berkshire Gilt at OYE. Moving into the white one, that's tag 100. He's not afraid, tricked out. That's how his pedigree reads. His mother has always done a really, really good job. From what I've got here in terms of notes, not afraid, just stacked on some extras. The Berkshire Gilt, we've got no tag for her. She'd be 9-9, sired by Upward, top shelf, don't pass go. So the exact same pedigree as the Berkshire Bear. Mom would have raised the 3rd overall Berkshire male there, Berkshire Bear at OYE. Grandma is the same sow as the champion Bert Gilt at OYE this year.
I hadn't seen these pigs today, but I saw the white one again a couple weeks ago on my travels there. And again, like I said earlier, if y'all were listening and probably checked out already, but we don't show them with pedigree. We don't show them by litter or truckload, but it gives you more confidence as a feeder if they come out of good deep litters. And that litter that white one came out of was stacked about 7 or 8 deep, and an awesome set. I'm also going to tell you that this shows how much focus or how much emphasis these consigners had on pulling the right one. one for Gary Sale here because that was the first pin that came out. And before I ever got to ask what this pig was, they said, no, that 7-liter 7-2 is going to Todd's farm sale. Again, at that particular time, I read him as a very hairy, very dense, boxy, and stout-made kind of a pig there that might have been just a shot quick. And I can tell you, he's done the right things between now and then. Extended, his maturity pattern looks even more on point. Again, I usually say this as we go. Everybody talks about the green little skinny ones that work. I get along better if they're built like this stout and this bulky. And I can tell you, handled right feeding regimen, right plan, that is one awesome white pig there from Pell. The pair of Burks there, first time I've seen them, obviously younger, more immature. They need to be for that breed. That male pig hits me as one of those. Again, balance is all in check. Looks like one of those is going to be attractive and yet still have plenty to them. Really high quality gilt that maybe even betters the barrel from a stoutness of skull and jawline perspective. The Berkshire male is tag 99. The white male is tag 100. I guess we'll tag the gilt here momentarily, but Berkshire gilt from Pale Livestock.
In the ring next, we've got Winter Livestock, Tanner and Sam Winter, obviously too. Like I've talked all day, and you'll probably get tired of hearing an Okie talk about it. A guy in our state, not only just here, but everywhere in the country, but specifically for us. Get to see him a lot of weekends in terms of jackpot shows, and man, the type of stuff and quality he represents is off the charts good. He's got 4 of them here, just 3 in this first round. We'll start in computer order. Tag 96, he's a light cross male there, sired by Blue Magic. His mom's a W. His mom is a mate there to the Grand Gilt, I believe. His daughter Tegan showed there. That was grand overall at the Southwest District last year. We move into that other white one. That's a Snowman back on a Wham sow. Mom is a litter mate to Nature Boy. And I've got a good note here that all his pigmentation reads Yorkshire. There's no blue or anything like that. True white one. And then the Berkshire Gilt. She's a top tier special effect. Mom is, they've got the same mom as Outlaw there at Premium Blend. She's a July-born Gilt. That same sow, Tanner just told me, just raised the 5th overall Berkshire Gilt there at the Indiana State Fair just last week. A great trio of them. Very, very excited to hear what Kelton's got to say.
Again, a firm there, and I hate to keep sounding like a broken record. I do get to spend a lot of time in Oklahoma there, and I love it. I love the progression, the competition, and yet at the same time, not to I guess belittling any of the rest of them, and just the words that come to mind. Winter Livestock is one of my absolute favorite stops every time. Talk to Tanner, hear his mind, evaluation, guess theories and things that go, and everybody probably laugh when they saw there, but a very creative and yet very, very intelligent person, and yet Sam's not here, I don't think. I haven't seen her, but maybe one of my favorite people in the United States of America and one of the sharpest people ever, and keeps everything going. They do it as a family. They do it right. I encourage everybody to go by there and study their operation, study what they've done. The first thing that comes to mind for me in the Southwest of, and I guess nationwide, but again, that they go, people ask me all the time, where are the good white ones at? Where are the Yorkshire classifying ones? Where are the blue ones at? And the first person I say, or the first operation I say, is Winter Livestock. We have a pair out here that represent them extremely well. I can tell you the little guy that's in the center of the ring is out of the 56 litter. They ran those out there right before their second sale. He was the first one I started. He said, that one's going to Todd's, but again, awesome litter, really neat little pig there. Not telling you where to show him, but looks like San Antonio will be in his future for me. 96 is the bigger one, huge legged and armed, big bladed, short backed. Again, when that one drops in a Yorkshire classifying ring, or whether you're trying to make the next generation, he is going to be different. And then obviously those pedigrees are awesome. What they've done in the Berkshire ring the last couple years has been unparalleled. Able to judge one of those barrows in Indiana that was right there hitting on the door. Ended up 3rd overall, but he almost got one of the great big banners. Again, awesome gilt there. I think we made note she is a July, Tanner. Berkshire gilt is a July for you guys wondering about that. 94 is her tag. The little guy there, tag 56, is tag 95, and the one in the corner here is 96. Again, these are the first 3 entries from Winter Livestock.
Sticking here with the winter livestock consignments, and as these first three came in, Tanner said, hey, we're going to run this one by himself, and I don't care. And I don't blame him. This is an awesome pig. He's sired by Blue Magic. And once again, you know, probably that first round, we didn't really just hint on what Blue Magic has done so far, what he can do. A lot of the pigs I've seen out of Blue Magic, I mean, are very, very good. His mom's a W. The same mother there would be the mommy of the Reserve Grand, the 2024 Gala show they have in Missouri. That's a high-paying, very, very good event that takes a very good one there to get in the top three. I believe they sell the top three. So got power there on the bottom side out of an incredible herd sire and then a real good pig.
Well, this pig, again, able to talk to people there to go, and I guarantee you haven't talked to me on the phone without me mentioning this pig. When they brought him out, I swung back by and loaded up the purchases from the first online sale, and Tanner said, hey, let me show you this pig there. And I could tell the nervousness in his voice of just showing and bringing one out here. Again, we can break them down and talk about bone and rib and proportions and balance and all the cute little things that we talk about as a judge. I'm going to say if that one gets in the ring, the judge isn't going to talk very long, and the only term that comes with me is that is one memorable animal there, regardless if it's the white crossbred deal, the blue deal division that we've got at so many different shows, but if that one doesn't read as a boar prospect,